So, have you ever had or listened to a conversation and you hear two people talking and suddenly one person says, it be like say you need go yaba left, right? And then you're wondering, what is yaba left? For those of you who did not grow up in Nigeria or in particular Lagos, this may be a strange word to you or you may have heard it on the internet. But yaba left, I don't know where the name came from. However, there is a psychiatrist hospital, right? A psychiatrist hospital there inside Yaba, right? So that's where the idea of Yaba left came from. But you see that left, if you know why it is called Yaba left, please let us know in the comment section because I have no idea. Sorry, bad manners. My name is Tessie, a mental health, family and marriage therapist. Now I had to spell that out for you. If you're wondering why I did that, you need to go and listen to my other episodes and then you'll find out why. Today we're going to be talking about something really interesting in the mental health space, and that is the difference between mental conditions or mental health disorders and mental health issues. Is this sounding strange to you? I know you're wondering, what's the difference? Like, what's the difference between mental? Yes, that's why some people will tell you when you see somebody behaving like a mad person, they'll say, this one, yaba left, like I mentioned earlier. But do you also know, are you aware that there are certain behaviors that you will exhibit and you actually need to go and see a counselor or a therapist? Now, not yaba left, okay? So I'm going to be explaining that in a few minutes. Mental health issues and mental conditions are two different things, or mental health issues and mental health disorders. These are two different things, and a lot of times we don't know that they are different. So we maybe sound different when we're talking about them. Every time someone acts like a crazy person or does something, everybody is quick to say yaba left, meaning go to a psychiatric hospital. And I do not agree that is entirely true. Now, I will start to explain what they mean. Mental health issues, as a whole, you have what we call the mental health space. If you want to understand more about the mental health space and all the things I have said about it before, please refer to the video that will be linked here or to my previous videos on the playlist, okay? Now, mental health issues are issues that are induced to the psychology of a person due to life challenges or things that happen to you due to life issues or life challenges. So for example, issues that happen to you based on the fact that you had poor parenting, you were dealing with trauma, or you're dealing with like some kind of depression or anxiety. There are so many life issues and life challenges that could cause you to not be balanced in your mind, to have issues with your mind. Now, those are mental health issues. Examples of mental health issues are you're dealing with trauma. That's a mental health issue. You're dealing with anxiety, certain kinds of anxiety, certain kinds of depression are linked to mental health issues. Or you're dealing with low self-esteem. That's a mental health issue. It has nothing to do with the psychiatrist hospital, although it's a psychological thing, but it has nothing to do with you being treated by a psychiatrist, okay? So that's a mental health issue. Let's say you know that person in your office who you just say something to them and before you complete your sentence, they're already attacking you. That person has a mental health issue. Or you meet somebody who is constantly asking you, how do I look? How do I look? Is my hair okay? They are so conscious of themselves. That person has a mental health issues. Or you meet somebody who has like what's it called now, where they do not know how to express themselves, right? They are usually very shy, or they say things like, I have social anxiety. That's a mental health issue. So if you've heard that word before, and there are so many others. So a mental health issue is a psychological issue. Anything that has to do with your mind that doesn't allow you behave freely and comfortably. However, a mental health condition or a mental disorder are psychological issues that have biological foundations. Don't worry, don't be afraid, I'll break it down for you. This is what I mean. It's a mind problem, but the mind problem is connected to the brain. Examples of mental conditions are things like schizophrenia. Guys, hold on, I need to do this again.
A few moments later.
Schizophrenia. So let me tell you why this is a problem. I had looked up this word to know how to pronounce it. I've always thought that it was pronounced schizophrenia, but I found out that it is schizophrenia, and it's a hard word, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's on the screen, so in case you are confused about my tongue, it's schizophrenia. That's a mental condition. The second mental condition I think is depression. Certain kinds of depression are actually mental conditions where a person is just outrightly sad with no particular reason, not like life is happening to the person. Person might be comfortable and having everything, but they are depressed. Okay, that's actually a mental condition.
There's also OCD, right? Now, there is OCD and mental health issues, right? Those ones are mild. There's another type of OCD that appears as a mental condition, where it's a biological condition, meaning it has nothing to do with just your psyche, your mind as we call it, but also has a lot to do with your brain functions and the neural pathways and some certain English that is not in my jurisdiction to talk about, because I'm not a medical personnel, or that's not my field of specialty. So you have things like multiple personality disorder. Yes, multiple personality disorder, where one person behaves or has 5 characters. So one moment the person is saying things like, oh, this is me, this is how I am, yada yada yada, and all of that. And the next thing you're like, oh, Tessie is not here. This is Sumbo. Sumbo doesn't like to be touched. Tessie likes this and this is one person manifesting various personalities. That's multiple personality disorder. That is not just a mental health issue, it's a mental condition. Okay, and yes, there's a cure for it. There's help. There's a way to manage it, not cure. Scrap that. There's a way to manage it, there's a way to deal with it. Everything has a foundation, okay, has a root cause. Now there's also what we call bipolar. Bipolar disorder is a mental condition. Okay, it is not just a mental health issue. It doesn't come from life issues or life challenges. It actually is a mental health disorder where the person has extreme mood swings. So this person is extremely happy when they are happy, and sometimes or in a split moment they are extremely sad. Okay, if you find anyone who is behaving like this, or who deals with such, or manifests such behavior, this person has a mental health condition or disorder. Okay, so this is the difference between mental health issues and mental condition. So before you look at someone and say this person needs to go to Yaba left, you also need to understand the issues this person is dealing with. Is it affecting his or her daily work? What I mean by that is, whatever challenges this person is going through in their mind, does it affect the way they behave at work? Does it affect the way they behave with their colleagues? Does it affect the way they eat or their daily life? Does this person somewhere in the middle of the road, after being so cool, stands in the middle of the road and forgets his or herself, right? There are so many other mental conditions that are so severe. There's this particular one where the person gets to forget completely. Yes, the person has complete amnesia, where they do not remember anything at all. Severe cases of amnesia are actually mental conditions. Okay, so there are so many, you can look them up on the internet so you know the difference. However, do not be quick to tell somebody they need to go to Yaba left, and also do not be quick to dismiss the fact that you need to see a counselor, because a counselor or a therapist or a mental health therapist is equipped, or let me put it this way, a psychotherapist or a mental health counselor is equipped to help people who are dealing with mind issues, who are dealing with psychological concerns that are impairing them from doing their day-to-day work or stopping them from being themselves. Like I said, anxiety, depression, or you're going through issues in your marriage or in your relationship, or as a person you don't know who you are. Things like helping you discover yourself, improving your self-worth. All of those things and many more are challenges that a therapist, a psychotherapist, or a mental health counselor is equipped to help you with. So if you have ever been through anything in your life, if you've ever lost anybody and you had to grieve, you need to go see a mental health counselor or a psychotherapist. Okay? If you're having marriage challenges, if you're having issues in your relationship, even if you're not married and you're having issues in your relationship, or you can't seem to keep a guy or keep a girl, or somehow people are always breaking up with you, you are sure going through something in life that you need to talk to somebody. You see those issues, you used to go and meet that your friend that used to give you advice that used to work. Those kind of issues, you should go and see a mental health counselor, okay? It's not for your friend to do it, because your friend is also going through life in his or her own way. And so whatever advice they will give you will come from their experiences. So it is advice, and I'm advising you as a professional, go seek help. If you have a mental health issue, go seek help. Telling somebody that you need to go and see a mental health counselor or a psychotherapist does not mean you are cuckoo. It doesn't mean that you've lost your mind. You don't have a mental condition or disorder. A mental health condition or disorder can be diagnosed by a professional medical practitioner. When you go to a hospital and you tell them your symptoms, there are things they will ask you, and after that they will run a test. Sometimes go as far as scanning your brain and your mind to see if there's something wrong. When they discover that, they will now refer you to maybe a psychiatric hospital or to see a psychologist who will then decide what it is that needs to be done. However, for life challenges or mental health issues, all you need to do is, I want to talk to somebody. You go and see a therapist. When you see the therapist's job is to speak with you and say, hey, this person's issues are life-induced, I can handle it. Or this person's issues are not something that I can handle alone. So I would refer them to a psychiatric hospital where they can go get some more tests done, get some medications. Do you even know that there are certain types of depression, like I mentioned earlier, where a person is so depressed, they don't know why they are depressed. There's no particular reason why they are depressed. They just know that they are so depressed, they want to kill themselves. Sometimes they become so suicidal so quickly, right? Some of those people need to be put under medication to remove them from that particular mode. That's a kind of depression that is a mental health disorder or a mental condition, you see. But even if the psychiatrist is helping the person do the right thing, they still need to work with a therapist. So you see, mental conditions are not isolated from the mental health counselor. The mental health counselor still works with those who are dealing with mental conditions, but they must also go and get proper help by getting medication or sometimes even surgery to correct what the problem is, okay? I don't know if you've learned anything, but if you haven't learned anything today, let me say it again. Mental health conditions are handled, or mental health issues are handled by therapists, psychotherapists, mental health counselors, family and marriage therapists. I had mentioned a lot of issues that a mental health counselor handles in my previous videos, so make sure you go look at them. Now, mental conditions or mental disorders are handled by professionals in the psychology world, like psychiatrists, or a psychologist, okay? So if you know anyone dealing with any of these issues and you're not even sure who you need to talk to, see a psychotherapist or a mental health counselor first of all, and from there, they will decide to help you with whatever it is. Have you learned something today?
So before you go around pointing fingers at people, laughing at them because they said they are going to see a therapist, meanwhile, let me just say this here. It's now a thing. People say things like, my mental health is at stake. I know, but before you start laughing at anybody who is seeing a mental health counselor or seeing a psychotherapist, remember, all of us need to go for counseling. We all need therapy because we all face life challenges that we can't deal with ourselves because we're not equipped to. So don't be quick to laugh at anybody. Remember, a mental health counselor is your friend and is there to help you through whatever challenges that you're going through. Bye.